Name La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakudash. Double honors to elders and apostles, great millstone who rule and teach well, and the brothers pushing this truth, and the hopeful ladies tuned in. Shalom. There's going to be a quick touch up on staying focused. Because out of all these people on the planet Earth, specifically talking about the Israelites, because the Israelites as the sand of the sea, we've been called to the body, to push the truth, to live the truth, so on and so forth. You had so much going on the earth during the days when we fell, from 70 AD to when Cristobal Colon, right, Christopher Columbus came to the Americas, and Jake getting overthrown in Europe, and Jake in West Africa, and our people been through hell. And now that we know why, we know the latter end to our enemies and the latter end of us. We gotta stay focused. We gotta stay getting stay pretty much living like Yahweh shot, man. Which ultimately means living like Yahweh, being a judge, having discernment, making the right call, forgiving, like we were being forgiven, man. Like all the sins that we've done, they're getting overlooked, man. If you're a part of the elect, and you gotta really put on as the elect and move accordingly, and that goes into being focused, having that tunnel vision. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, and that goes into those nuclear missiles, nuclear bombs, nuclear weaponry, um, blowing up Babylon the Great and the land of Israel, which will shake the earth and dissolve the elements. What manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? And that's being like the Most High, being like Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, keeping the law, statute, commandments to the best of our abilities, having faith, and faith without works is dead, having works. Verse 12, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And that's going into those nuclear missiles, the ICBM missiles. Russia got nuclear missiles and submarines. Um, Iran is leveling up with their nuclear capabilities, and they're going to let it loose on the U.S., United States of America, which is Babylon the Great, that great whore that ride upon the beast. And the lead up to that point will also be evil. It's not just gonna be like Christians, like Christianity tells you that. This is pretty much what they say. It's all bullshit, right? They say that it's gonna be a 7-year tribulation, which already happened, right? It has nothing to do with end time prophecy. And the Yahweh Shai, Jesus Christ, right? This leprous piece of shit, right? Jesus Christ. He's gonna come back. He's gonna gather Christians, and then they're gonna leave, and then it's gonna be 7 years of the apocalypse, and then people that survive the 7 years of the apocalypse, Yahweh Shai is gonna come. Jesus Christ is gonna come back a second time, and then the people that survive will have faith, will get beamed up. So it's gonna be 2 second comings. It's gonna be a second and then a third coming. Bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. The word rapture is not even in the scriptures, right? You see, the what these people refer to as the end of society, so on and so forth, is just Jacob's trouble, which everybody on the planet Earth will be a part of. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're in the spirit world, you gave up the ghost. You're going to be on the planet Earth. You're going to be in the vicinity of the planet Earth when all hell is breaking loose. Like, it's a scene, man. It's a scene in American Dad, right? It's like a kind of like a offshoot of Family Guy, like Cleveland Show and stuff. And in the show, it has societal collapse, and it shows the brutality of what it's gonna be like. And it had, like, I think it had a rapture, right? Where the chariots beamed up people, right? and then like the main character, which his name is Stan Smith, right? He's an FBI agent. He had to survive or whatever, and then I think his wife Francine or him got beamed up the second time. No, 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 no. That's not how it works, man. First and foremost, only the Israelites, not even all Israelites, only the 1/3, only 1/3 of the nation of Israel will even be beamed up. So if you're not an Israelite, you're automatically screwed, man. You're gonna be surviving like fucking brute beasts, and you're going straight into slavery. And if you're a Edomite, you're ultimately screwed. This is Galatians, the 5th chapter, verse 1. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Hamashiach, right? That's the proper way of saying Christ, which means the anointed. Paleo Hebrew tongue is Hamashiach, hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. So you Edomites, and just spiritually speaking as well, we're not going to be caught up in the folly out here. You know, we know the truth. We have the truth, right? Not, I'm not saying it's wrong to say this truth. It's still a proper term, but me personally, I like saying the truth, right? Because it sounds more, how can I put it? More dominant, right? Because this truth or the truth, or I like the truth because it just sounds better. It rolls off the tongue better for me personally. And having the truth, we know, like we're not like people in the world that don't know what's coming next, right? They gotta wonder, be worried. We know exactly what's gonna happen next. This is Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? And that's because Jake went off. And that noble vine that's gonna be kept ultimately will be the 1/3. Let's get that. I think it's second Esdras. Let me see. Go to the 9th verse. I think not verse, 9th chapter. I think it's this right here. Let me see. Yep, second Esdras 9:22. It says, "Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain." So the 2/3 were born in vain. How are they born in vain? They're gonna die in Jacob's trouble. They're not gonna have. They're gonna have in the kingdom. They're gonna be on a lower rank than the rest of the Israelites. They're not doing what's pleasing in the eyes of the Most High, which is pushing the truth, living the truth, so on and so forth. And you got some carnal niggas out here that are like, I'm rich. Like they think the end all be all is to be rich off of Esau's world, when the end all be all is the kingdom. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept in my plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect. And the hopeful elect, which will eventually, not all the hopeful elect, but the elect will be known. And that true perfection is when Yahushua comes back and we get them new bodies. And we're building up to that point right now by rehearsing the righteous acts. This is Romans 12:16. Be of the same mind one toward another, mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. So you got to be humble. You got to hear brothers out, no matter who they are. You got to. That's why another scripture talks about entertaining angels unawares. You don't know who you talking to. You don't know. You don't know who you talking crap about. You don't know who you helping out. Because you don't know who's the elect. You see, the elect got a certain level. Like they're Yahweh sees them on a higher tier than everybody else. So if you mess with the elect, which you don't know who is, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot, so to speak. Let's go to Mark, the 1st chapter. And the elect are gonna be the new and improved rulers on the planet Earth. Because how the rulership right now is clearly off. You got fucking devils, man. You got the lowest specimen on the planet Earth ruling. And we clearly see he's destroying the earth. He's destroying the elements as a whole and the people. Do you know how many? I'm pretty sure I got plastic in me, man, and you do too, from eating this devil's food, the defiled bread from the Gentiles. Just roughly paraphrasing that scripture, that verse, but it's the truth because Esau is a devil. You know, it's a video out. It's probably not on YouTube anymore, but it's on BitChute, probably Odyssey, and all these other independent kind of video websites where the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds, which is the same thing, they're the same people, Amalek, they banned herbs. They banned herbs and pretty much made it a crime. And they moved in, what was it, petroleum based medicine, which would not cure you, but keep you at bay so they can milk you for more money. Because Esau is the devil. And then they also passed, what was it, the Prohibition Act, where they banned alcohol. Yeah, man, Esau's the devil. This is Mark 1 and 1. The beginning of the gospel of Yahushua Mashiach, the Son of the Most High, as it is written in the prophets, behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. The voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of Yahweh, make his path straight. And that goes into, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai heralding in that the kingdom. Because this is everything has been mapped out since the beginning of time. There's no last minute script, right? Like everything has already been laid and sealed up about, who's has whose lot, who is gonna lose, who's gonna win, you know. This is Luke 4:18. The Spirit of Yahweh is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, and to set at liberty them that are bruised. And that just goes into the Israelites, pursuant to Luke the 21st chapter, Deuteronomy 28th chapter, so on and so forth. I think Jeremiah 17th chapter, and Revelations, I think the 22nd chapter or 21st chapter. The Israelites will be under these curses of being at the bottom of the barrel until the curses are lifted, which the curse will be lifted when Yahushua returns, which is, I don't want to go too deep into it, but that's how you know who are the Israelites, because the curses are still on us, and according to the scriptures, they're Revelations 22:3. That's what I want. Revelations 22:3. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and the servants shall serve him. So when Yahushua returns is when the curses of the Israelites will be taken away. So the Israelites are still under the curses to this day, which proves that we are the Israelites, because we're the only people that fit these curses to a T. You understand? Every single one. It's people out here that's going through something. We're not going to deny other people's bondage, so to speak, but nobody lines up with these scriptures but the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. 1 Peter 4:6. For this cause was a gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to the men in the flesh, but live according to the Spirit of the Most High. So you got brothers, you got to be tried by brothers. You can't just let another brother just come in your house, or that's in the scriptures. And that also goes into Ezekiel 37, the dry bones started. I don't want to butcher it, but let's go to it. Ezekiel 37. Ezekiel 37, scroll down a little bit. Ezekiel 37:11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, Our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off from our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus said the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. So the Israelites will will have the curses taken off of them simultaneously as they're going back to the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh when I have opened your graves on my people and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live. So that's the second covenant. So simultaneously as the Israelites going back to their land, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, right, the northern southern kingdom together, they're going to have the spirit of Yahweh in them. We're not going to sin anymore. We're going to be mortal. That just further confirmation, further more evidence that the people in the land right now aren't the people of the Lord. And shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall you know that I am Yahweh, has spoken and performed it, saith Yahweh. Reunion of Judah and Israel. The word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel his companions, then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph the stick of Ephraim and for all the house of Israel and his companions. So the Israelites are going to come together when they go back into the land. You see those small hats, they don't even know where the northern kingdom is. Why? Because they're not the people of the Lord. Actually, they do know where the northern kingdom is, but because they know who the Israelites are. But speaking from the perspective that they're the people of the Lord, right? They don't acknowledge the northern kingdom because they're idiots. They're imbeciles. They truly don't understand what they're doing. You know, now on a certain level they can see what's really going on because the truth of the scriptures is coming out. But when they, in the process of doing what they're doing, they truly didn't understand to a certain level. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High, keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And then the prophet has another lot where he's pushing the truth, living the truth, which is keeping the commandments and fearing the Most High goes into Yahweh Shah as well, because Yahweh Shah was always here. He was always there. He didn't just miraculously just pop up, and he didn't miraculously pop up in the New Testament. You see, these fucking imbeciles, these Christians, these Christianity, they say start in Matthew and that's it. They're hypocrites. They don't actually believe in the scriptures. They believe in white supremacy. That's what they believe in, which is folly. Is a made up concept. First and foremost, they not the color of this background. I mean, unless you factor in this red right here, right? They're red. This is Ecclesiasticus, otherwise known as Sirach, the 33rd chapter from the top, verse 1. There shall be no evil happen to him that feareth Yahweh, but in the temptation, even again he will deliver him. And that's that being focused. A wise man hateth not the law, but he that is a hypocrite therein is as a ship in a storm. So you rocking back and forth. You don't know what you're doing. You getting afflicted. A man of understanding trusteth in the law, and the law is faithful unto him as an oracle. Prepare what to say, and so thou shalt be heard, and bind up the instruction, and then make an answer. Verse 8, but the knowledge of Yahweh they are distinguished, and he altereth seasons and feasts. Some of them have to, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to leave off right there. So going into these scriptures, you got to read, you got to push, you got to, feed the flock, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Matthew chapter 10, you got to push the truth. And you got to keep the commandments to the best of your abilities, like the scriptures have said, right? The commandments won't save you. It's faith, works, grace, right? Liberty. We're under liberty. But does that mean we don't keep the law and we go off and be wicked? No, because that means we're in sin. But we're covered by Yahweh Shai. And you can't take that for granted. Go Matthew 5 and 6. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 6. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. So guess what? How do you thirst after righteousness, man? You pushing this truth. You keeping the commandments to the best of your abilities. Keeping the commandments is righteousness. That is righteousness. Keeping the commandments. That's why we're going to have the commandments pretty much take over our DNA. And we're going to be immortal, have the same body as Yahweh Shai. We're not going to sin anymore. Because sin is transgression of the law. Now, let's go to 1 Timothy, 4th chapter. It's 1 Timothy 4 and I'm gonna start at verse 10. For therefore we both labor and suffer reproach because we trust in the living power, because the world hates the Most High, who is the Savior of all men, especially of those that believe. And that's going to the Israelites. You see, you got the Christianity has warped the scriptures. These scriptures are only for the Israelites. Let's just prove that. Psalms 147 and 19. He sheweth his word, which is the scriptures, and Yahushai, unto Jacob his statutes and his judgments to Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. Right? So these scriptures is only for the Israelites. Verse 11. These things command and teach. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, and purity. One more, man. I got one more on my mind. You know, Christianities, you gotta destroy them, man. You gotta destroy them. Malachi 3 and 6. For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. So the Most High will always be for the Israelites only, no matter what. Just have to point that out. Verse 13. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, the Rakakadash, right? Which was given thee by prophecy with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Let's I'm probably butchering that. Let's go into the Strong's real quick. Presbyterion in Greek. Presbyterion, which means body of the elders, right? The Senate Council. So a council, right, of the elders. And that council of the elders is, the elder Tahar, Aramlab, Rakah, Gabar, right, and many more that I don't know their names. It's so many of them. This is Psalms 37. I'm gonna end this off right here, starting at let me see, 16th verse. A little that is righteous, a little that a righteous man hath, is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but Yahweh upholdeth the righteous. So, the brothers and the sisters that's believing on this word, the brothers pushing this word, and so on and so forth, will have that hedge of protection in this coming chaos. You got to be focused. You have to meditate on these scriptures, on this word, for the troubling days that are ahead. I was just talking to my grandma earlier today about, like, because she has since she's older than me, she's seen the boomers. She's a boomer. She's seen how life was in America's when you can just survive on your own with minimum wage, and maybe even put your kids through college with minimum wage, right? So I asked her, I'm like, like, with the cost of food, and like how much with the price of food uh increases for, like, just complete madness, like, stores is completely ransacked, people, it's chaos, right? And I pretty much, she said about, like, she was telling me, and me knowing as well on a certain level, that like eggs and bread and milk, two of each, that's about $8. I think that's the three things we had. We had eggs, butter, no, eggs, milk, and bread, and I think two of each is like $8. So it's like $4 a piece for each one, like a dozen of eggs or whatever. I think something like that. And she was like, I had quadrupled it, so it was like $24. It was $24 for six. I mean, for, yeah, six total items: two milk, 2 dozen eggs, 2 gallons milk, 2 dozen eggs, and 2 loaves of bread. Or it was three. I can't remember, right? I think it was two, right? So I was like, all right, say you quadrupled it, so 24 times four, that's just about $100. If that went for to $100, how like, what would me? I'm thinking in my head, like, please, like, people, it may go complete pandemonium before then. But she was like, yeah, it'll more likely, be on that wild wild west type, not even wild wild west, but like kind of like just a collapse, a financial collapse, and that's coming. Like maybe Esau might, pull something else, try to collapse it before, like, her accidentally collapse it, like in our eyes, just an accident. But then they just did, release something out, or you know, did launch a cyber attack, or it could just be, it just organically crashes. Who knows? But all we know is that it's coming, and we want mercy to be saved from it, because it's gonna be just straight wickedness. I'm gonna end it off right there. I'm gonna say shalom.